It is time to begin Beyond the Rift. Ta-da! Beyond the Rift, episode number 11, starring the ever beautiful I'm a Cutie Pie, your amazing host today. I'm going to be taking you guys on a wild ride, and joining me, who's joining me? Let's start off with our special guest, Yuna. Tell them about yourself. They don't know about you. Let them know, though.
uh, COG substitute and streamer, and that's pretty much it.
That's him,
Uh,
ladies and gentlemen. And Scarra, in case they don't know about you, who are you?
I'm the other co-host, the monkey on my left. We've been through this about 10 episodes in a row, 12 episodes in a row. But I am Scarra. I am a entertainer, streamer,
Wait, you're not an
performer.
entertainer. You're a professional, first and foremost.
Sorry, a professional. Some would even say I'm an artist with what I do. I'm all of those things, and I'm the co-host of yours truly, of yours for this show, not yours truly.
Yeah, you're really performing that Karthus game where my team was just feeding their. Oh god, I just want to go into that 1 second. I had a game, so if you guys didn't watch, I played a game versus Faker top lane. He's playing Xinjiang and just being a fucking monkey. I don't know how the fuck we ended up losing that game. Like, how did it end up like that? But oh man, that was just too much. But whatever, dude. We don't need to dwell on that. Let's go into Discord. This stream, this Beyond the Rift, it is brought to you by Discord. You know, you love Discord. You use it.
I love Discord. I love Discord.
Discord
Is
is
so
fucking
good.
great. Discord, yes, it's so good. But you know what's even better than Discord?
What? What's better than Discord?
Bloody gaming gear, dude. Bloody gaming peripherals. You ever use those before, Yuna?
Oh hell yeah, dude! I use them all the time, even right
Me
now.
too. Are you kidding me, dude? You're perfect for this show, dude. Yuna knows all about it, guys. If you guys want to be a substitute CLG player, you're gonna have to go and get the bloody peripherals in the Discord voice comms so you can communicate with your team. And we're going to be doing a Q&A at the end of the show, so definitely go ahead and check it out. But let's get it underway then. Are you ready for the topics, Yuna?
Hell yeah, hit me with them.
These are going to be some hard-hitting topics. Are you sure you're ready for them?
I'm sure, man. Give me the hardest you can give.
Scar, are you ready for them?
I'm so ready for them.
Then let's get it underway. Ladies and gentlemen, topic number 1 for tonight. The meta is more lane dominant without lane swaps, especially with the rise of Caitlyn and Zyra. Is that good for the bottom lane meta? So this one, you're a substitute for CLG. What role do you substitute for? In case they don't know.
Attack damage carry. I'm substitute AD. I play bot lane only.
Perfect. What do you think about this meta right now? I love the meta. I have no complaints about it. I could play Jhin, Lucian, Ezreal all fucking day, every day. But you got any problems with it?
Hell yeah, dude. I actually think it's
Wait,
bullshit that.
you hate it?
Well, like in solo queue, I think it's great because it's super lane dominant. I really like playing towards my lane, so I can pick like you're right, like Caitlyn, Lucian, all that shit over and over. But for like, I kind of like watching competitive a lot more than I like playing solo queue, and watching things like Caitlyn get picked every single game, first picked. I think that's like disgusting.
So you don't like watching Caitlyn Zyra just shove someone into the tower while they fucking try to fend for themselves?
No,
Yeah.
that's actually my favorite, actually.
Yeah, that shit's pretty late. No, I agree. Competitive wise, it can be pretty like there's usually I mean, I don't know how you could balance it, but there's just like one champion that's like super lane dominant and they pretty much just force you to play on your tower and then there's nothing you can really do about it. I agree it's kind of lame, especially Caitlyn Zyra's stupid ass fucking lane. That's just lame. Like you're pretty much forced into calling your jungler to help you because like if you can win the lane against that, then it's because they're both garbage and not because like anything else. So Yeah, I agree. The lane's pretty fucking lame. Scarra, from an outside perspective, though, what do you think of it?
I just think, yeah, there's something intrinsically wrong when you could first pick Caitlyn, like on blue side. Like there's just something wrong with the game in the specific role. I don't like it. It's like, do you remember? I think it was earlier this year where Vayne was a blind pickable AD. Like that, I feel like when that, especially when that champion is able to be blind, like Riot just messed up on balance. Like just completely the bot lane balance is completely bonkers if you can blind that champion. And Caitlyn, I think that. Yeah, it's just unfun to watch. From an outside perspective, ganking Caitlyn is pretty annoying too. So I guess watching Caitlyn Ezreal be in every game, it's like okay. I guess nothing really changes from my perspective, but just I feel bad like watching like how the bot lane meta kind of devolved into, well, either we take Alistar and we lose lane up until we team fight, or we take Nami or Kate or Zyra and try to fight the other guy but lose because the other team has Caitlyn.
Yeah, I mean, I love that shit, but I agree. Yeah, especially as if you're playing AD and a lot of viewers don't understand. There's no, you can't do anything versus Caitlyn. Like that lane is fucking lame. And then you have, dude, you're losing lane. You're down 10 CS. You suck, dude. It's like, what the fuck do you want? Like they picked the lane where they're 100%. They're not picking this lane because they're like, you know what? I really like Caitlyn's. This shit's fun. Let's just play it and see how well it goes. They're picking it because they want to pound your ass. And you're gonna get pounded. Like if someone's down 10 CS, that's pretty fucking good against that lane. Especially because you usually just have to pick. Like if they take Caitlyn Zyra, there's nothing more lane dominant, so you're just forced into picking something that just team fights well, and you just have to bite the bullet. So yeah, I agree. It can be kind of lame, especially it happens a lot for top lane too. Like top lane's all about fucking lane bullies right now, also. And yeah, I agree. It can be kind of fucking stale watching that shit. Like watching Gnar over and over again can get old.
I think the good thing about solo queue is that people don't like. I don't see a lot of people pick like the strongest lanes. They usually like. There's a lot of players who favor like different champs, so you don't see like the super meta stuff always come out. But when you do, it's just like, oh god. And the worst part is when people don't know how to play around it. So you play against like Caitlyn Zyra, and then you try to do a camp or some shit, and they just poke you. Level 1, you can't even walk up to the wave.
Oh yeah, I
Just
mean in
freeze it
solo
on
queue
you.
there's so much cheese shit. Like if they just camp you and you do a camp, if they're both sitting in the brush, the Caitlyn's out, you get chunked early, it's fucking over instantly.
Yeah.
And then the best thing is people don't realize you'll have people on your team, dude, why are you losing your lane versus that? It's like, motherfucker, have you ever lane versus this shit? What do you mean why am I losing my lane versus this? I mean, again, I'm a type of player that loves when the meta is about lane domination and not about team fighting and that lame shit. So I'm pretty happy with the meta. I agree with you guys though. Yeah, competitively it can get kind of stale just watching people fucking bite the bullet and get pounded on. But hey, whatever, man. Any closing remarks on this?
Side complete tangent. Depth is spamming Caitlyn a lot in solo queue. That guy is so good on Caitlyn. It's actually unbelievable. That guy legit just 1v9s every game I see him play. He's a monster.
Hey, you seen me play? You saw that Ezreal game, dude?
Yeah, the game where you got slammed by Faker, and then somehow I have like 8 kills on Karthus. My jungle is legendary. I saw that game.
Yeah, that's a good one. I really enjoyed that. Alright, let's go on to the next fucking topic. What is the ideal role of a substitute player? This one's coming straight at you, you know. The ideal role of a substitute player, and can a sub player actually work in League of Legends?
I feel like the ideal role of a substitute player is to like, where it kind of work with. I don't know if you guys remember the whole like Keith and Wild Turtle thing with TSM. I think that was like a good example because like Wild Turtle was like not playing too well, so Keith had to step in. He was slacking. Keith had to come in, show him who's boss, you know, threaten the role, and also besides like the whole threatening the role thing, I think they have to also like offer like their in-game knowledge, help around with the team and stuff. And I think no one does that right now. Like there's no team who actually utilizes their subs. Maybe I think P1 traded their top lane for like it was like Zig and Brandini, and that kind of did okay. But other than that, everyone is just like has subs on the list.
Well, what do you think is better? Do you think the substitute players should compete against their like the player playing the main role, or should they be helping them? Because a lot of times they'll just get a sub player to be like, "All right, if your ass doesn't cut it, we're fucking you're done, and we're picking up this dude." You think it should be like helping out more, or just the threat of the sub is gonna replace your ass?
I guess helping out more is better. I guess you don't want like that key situation always where you bring on a sub. If you fuck up once, this guy's playing. I think that's like way too much pressure, and it should be like it definitely should be helping. I don't think it should turn into like that Team Liquid thing where they have like a fucking 10-man roster for like the beginning of the season, first 2 weeks. All right, this guy won one more game. You're staying for the rest of the season. The other guy, you're fucking out.
Yeah,
I definitely don't think it should be that.
yeah, I agree with you there because I think like there's already so much pressure on the players that if you just add a sub with the intent, like you're pretty much saying, all right, if you fuck up, your ass is getting benched for this guy, like no questions asked, none of that shit. I agree, it should definitely be a role of like mentoring each other, but I just don't see. I feel like the only way that's really possible is if there was. Oof. I gotta tread carefully here because you're a sub, but I feel like it would only be possible if there was like enough talent to sustain helping each other. Because I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
Stupid.
no, I'm just saying that it's pretty lopsided once you get to the top. So it's like who's gonna sub to help? I mean, yeah, Stixay. Do you guys practice regularly? You and Stixay? How do
No.
how do you what do you do as a sub?
Well, my role as a sub was like not like too in depth with the team. I would go over to like the COG house and like watch scrims and help them review, and then we talk about like bot lane meta stuff like that. And that's what I usually did. But there was no like me like subbing in for scrims or stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you think, Scarra?
I think substitutes aren't being utilized correctly, but I don't really blame the organizations. I think there needs to be a lot of money and a lot of talent for you to use subs correctly. Like in the perfect world, I would like every team to have 10 players, and you would just have two teams that would either scrim against each other. Like it would essentially be sister teams. They scrim against each other. They'd even scrim against other B teams and be able to like try to work together and try to field the 5 best players for like a roster. Like I kind of do like the Team Liquid thing. However, there's like a bunch of problems with that. One, not all players are created equally. Like some are just better than others. Like sometimes it's not like, for instance, if like I was the sub for Bjergsen wouldn't be like, oh man, I'm feeling very pressured. I gotta play well this game or else Scarra can replace me. It's like, what? He can like have like a couple bad games. It's not like I'm gonna encroach onto his territory. And for like the very top of the players, they must think that as well. Like they have a sub. I think TSM just announced Night Blue as a sub, but I'm sure Scarra isn't like shaking in his boots at night. He wakes up sweating. He's like, shit, I had nightmare Night Blue replace me. He's probably just like, oh, he's a sub. Well, we're never going to use them. Even if I'm sick, I'll probably play it anyways. So I think that just in general, like substitutes could definitely be used a lot better, but it's going to require a really, really big investment for not that much of a payoff for the players. Like the players themselves have dreams and ambitions. It's the same reason why Pobalter wouldn't stay on a team with Huhi, not only because he got offered the initial spot originally, but also because like who wants to share the spotlight, right? Easy Hoon left Faker, even though they won Worlds with him because players just have higher ambitions, you know? If you have a player who just wants to be a substitute, I think that they won't be able to be good enough to actually even play with the main
who would
roster.
even want to just be a substitute? It's not like I can't imagine any player. You know what? I just want to do nothing basically. I don't want to have to perform or do anything. I just want to be on the sub roster, you know, just talk about league.
And I think that like for instance, some teams use it for more like promotional stuff. Like
I think it's just pretty much a cash. Like the substitute role is pretty much for money.
Yeah, and like when you see, like for instance, good example is Night Blue. Like him being able to attach himself to the TSM brand is huge for him, and good for TSM too because they have like another source of streaming like numbers. But if I'd like think of like all the teams in NA who've successfully used like a substitute roster, even for like one or two positions, and there's not many come to my head. Like maybe TL, maybe P1. But in all honesty, like just players will not share that limelight, and players just aren't that good. Like, so I find that there isn't enough talent to sustain the ideal position. I don't know what it's gonna look like moving forward, but I hope that there is a way to foster this kind of like lower level talent, kind of like the challenger scene talent, but more in house.
Yeah, I feel like with the substitute role, like how it was before, like probably a year ago, was just people would pick up subs just to lock them into a long ass contract and just be like, all right, this guy's pretty good, dude. You're gonna be a sub, and we're just gonna sell your ass whenever someone offers enough fucking money. Basically, that's how I look at the sub role. And honestly, I mean, I don't think that's a good thing, but yeah, there's definitely not enough players to there's not enough players to make it so it's anything more than just farming people.
Yeah, I think that's true. There's just not enough players. I also agree when you said like the whole sub thing was a money thing. Like at first, like I legit just joined for the money, and then I realized like, wait a minute, this is actually really fun, and it's like really cool being able to like watch everyone play, get super better, and then I wanted to play myself, but after a while, it just like that wasn't the plan at all. It was just like have me as a sub because it's like mandatory by Riot, and then next year you need 2 subs that are mandatory.
Wait,
But
wait, isn't it you need a sub for every position right now or no?
No.
no, you need. I think right now you need 1 mandatory sub, and then next year they're upping it to 2.
Oh, that's gonna be great. I can't wait to see who they pick up for subs, dude.
Oh man. Last year they had a really bad rule, which was if you played in the challenger scene at all, you couldn't be an official substitute for LCS, at least for a week and a half. And so like because of that, I had a lot of teams come up to me in Spring Split, be like, "You want to sub for us?" And I'm just like, "What?" Because I was actually the best available free talent player because I wasn't trying to go pro. I was just trying to like exist. And because of that, like all the good challenger mid laners were playing already, and I was like the person right under everyone who was trying to get in, and I became the most valuable like kind of real estate for subs. And I was just like, this is so awkward. Like I don't know why Riot wouldn't let these players play in the LCS, but I guess that question kind of answered itself when TL did their crazy like swaps and Renegades did like their crazy like relegation swaps and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like the sub role is just if they increase it to 2 players, I don't know how the fuck that's gonna go. Like if I was just a team, they increased it to 2 players. It's like, all right, I'm just gonna look. All right, who's at the top of the solo queue ladder and doesn't have a team? All right, let's just put him into a year-long contract. They'll be like, oh boy, this team's picking me up, man. This is hype, dude. And then it's like, all right, you're never gonna get to fucking play, and I'm just gonna sell your ass when I get the challenge. Like that's just the reality. Like what else are you gonna do with this? It's not like, you know what? All right, I'm TSM. Like let's use fucking random ass junglers instead of Scarra. And you know why? Who needs let's just try out a sub, man. Let's just try subs out. It's gonna be a lot of fun, everyone. Like everyone's playing fucking like 12 hours a day. It's like, motherfucker, you better make this shit count for the most possible if you're making my ass play for this long every day. Like if I was on a team, I wouldn't fucking want to have to play with my subs just for like the hell of it for my team. But who knows? Maybe Riot can introduce a rule. Maybe instead of 2 subs, you have to actually play scrims with your subs, like a bare minimum. That'd be actually kind of cool.
That there's no way they can.
Yeah, there's no way they fucking do that. But at least then it'd make the sub role like they actually get something out of it. Because I mean, do you know any other substitutes, Scar or Yuna? Like, do you know if they do anything with the orgs or
They don't.
hell no, dude.
They don't. Like I know some of them, and they don't do it. In fact, I brought up Yuna specifically as a guest this week because I wanted to talk about this. He is probably the sub that does the most out of all the teams. And I don't even think it's that much. Like he used to for splits go with the other CLG sub Fragnatic to the CLG house once a week to watch scrims and talk with the guys. He went to MSI with the team, watched all their scrims, talked with them. He went to Worlds with COG, watched all of their games, talked to them. I think that like that's like just traveling with the team to a place and then like working on them once a week. But that's way more than any other org is really investing in terms of this substitute position. And that's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of bad.
I mean,
I think.
do you think that orgs are making like a mistake not investing more into the substitute? Like, I mean, I don't.
I think.
Yeah, I don't.
I think.
You go.
Oh God, they can only play like once or twice a year, right? Like maybe let's say Yuna's best case scenario is Stixxay contracts a flu, and so he's out for 1 week. Okay, and then after the flu, Stixxay breaks his arm, and Yuna's in for 2 more weeks, and then Stixxay like falls on the floor, breaks his head, and he's out for like the entire season. It's like only in like very, very rare situations can Yuna play for extended periods more than 1 or 2 weeks. And so like I just like for the organization, I don't see the reason to invest that much time into Yuna, just him alone. But if he had 4 other people, like an entire other team to work with, and they can all like bounce around ideas and it's actually like a competitive atmosphere, I think that'd be a lot better. But that's just so much money and so much effort from the organization to put into 5 players, because the players have to be well compensated for literally scrimming and doing everything an LCS player does, but not playing on stage.
Yeah, if only they had like a really well-funded seat, like below the LCS, where like up-and-coming players could practice against other up-and-coming players and learn from them. Maybe work with like a team. I don't know what it'd be like. Maybe like a challenger series or something like that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that'd be
It's a really good idea.
Yeah,
I think.
What?
What are you saying?
I was gonna say that I mean the only way that I could ever see subs being relevant is if Challenger Series becomes relevant. I don't think that's gonna ever happen. It's pretty much just selling players, and that's pretty much what Challenger Series is too for teams, just selling players. So that's the only place that I could ever see subs being like somewhat useful. But any closing remarks on this one?
Oh yeah. I was gonna say I was just answering what Kitty said if I saw like any other subs. The only other 2 subs I know are the TSM subs, but that's Valkyrie and Gosu. Other than that, I didn't see a single other sub.
Does Gosu ever replace Double Lift? Or no?
Hell no.
Valkyrie ever replace? Is he a jungler? He plays like every role, right?
I think he plays like jungle support. I think he's even listed as like jungle support on the fucking website.
Yeah, like substitute role is pretty much just for money. I mean, I wish Riot would put in a rule where they have to use subs. I think that'd be cool as fuck. I'd want to see like subs actually be relevant, but that's never gonna happen. So
yeah, fuck subs, irrelevant piece of shits.
yeah, pretty much. Alright, let's move on to the next one though. The group draw stage was very controversial. You love it or you hate it. So let's go and talk about why was the group draw stage controversial for people that didn't catch it. Scarra.
Oh, when I made this question, I meant the format. So I think the group stage format this year was terrible. Like I think it's the same as last year. I just didn't catch on last year because I didn't like look about it and think about it clearly enough. But my God, I think the first week was fine. It's a best of 1. You split every single team up, and into each. They never play 2 games a day. That was like my biggest problem with this week. Is like, okay, I understand they want each day to be a storyline. If you're a TSM fan, oh, you're gonna come on Saturday because that's when TSM plays. Oh, you're like a C9 fan, you're gonna come on Sunday because that's when C9 plays. However, what ended up happening was that unless you were the first person in your group, the first team in your group, there's a chance for you to play back-to-back games in the best of 1 setting. And I think that that's so random. Like, I hate it. I think it just adds like extra pressure onto teams, randomly adds extra pressure on the teams. Like the only reason that they changed this from the week 1 to the week 2 is to have a closing kind of hype thing. Like it's not for competitive integrity. It's there to create storylines. And I think that if they want to do that, it's fine. You know, they could even have placed 2 group stages back to back. So like A and B are done in the first 2 days, and B and C and D are done in the next 2. Or it could just be the same for both weeks can be the same format. But having teams play back to back, and like for instance, Albus played a 60-minute game, and then they had to play into G2 instantly. Like I think that's just, if you're gonna make the format best of ones, at least give like the teams the ability to rest and prepare between each best of one, in my opinion.
I mean, that take fucking forever though. It take even longer than.
No, because it would be either just match the first week format, or on the second week make it so that each, like, if you want to close out groups early, like you do 2 groups for 2 days, so A and B can close within like Thursday, Friday, and B and C and D can close like Saturday, Sunday. That way, they don't have to stack teams back to back like they did the second week. I just think that's really bad, like super bad.
I mean, I love watching it, dude. I think, yeah, like you said, like ultimately at the end of the day, it's pretty much just you need to create hype, and people love watching like, oh my God, Albus Nox won this game. They're going straight into the next one. Oh, I gotta watch this shit. They're on a hot spree, dude. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, if Albus Nox won a game and then I have to sit there and watch 2 more games and wait until they play against someone else, it's like, well, the hype's dead, dude. I mean, that's cool if they win or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like ultimately it's about entertaining people. It's a lot more entertaining the way that it is now than anything else. I don't know. What do you think, Yuna?
I can see the both sides. Like, it's super entertaining. Like, you want to see someone like win and then be like, oh, holy shit, they have a chance to actually make it out of groups if they win this next game. And it's, oh, when are they playing it? Oh, right after this game? Sweet, right? But at the same time, it does suck for teams because, like, for example, for COG, it's like we had to play like games back to back, and usually the team likes going through this like whole prepping thing and warming up, where they just warm up their hands and then they talk to the coach and the analyst, and they do all this stuff where they prep. And it was hard to do it because when we're in between, I forgot what 2 games. I think it was G2 and ANX. Usually our prep could take like 30, 40 minutes, and we had 10 minutes for prepping against ANX. And it was like, we weren't even done, like halfway done with what our analyst was saying before they're like, okay, you guys got to go on stage. And everyone was like, oh, I guess we're going on stage, boys.
Okay, maybe when you phrase it like that, I guess it could be pretty bad. I mean, how do players prep usually? Is it really just before the games, or they don't come in with a strategy beforehand, or?
What do you mean with players like
because you're saying that they go back to back, they had to go back to back games, but they were going to prep for Annex the next one. They needed like 30 minutes or something. Did they not come up with the strategy beforehand, or?
Oh, yeah, of course there's already like pre-set stuff, like a good like 70% of it is already been said and been said through scrims and stuff like that. But then there's like this extra stuff that they like doing before the game, like
getting their mental in the right place. I know what you mean. They're giving them a little back rubs and that good stuff.
Yeah, 30-minute back rubs for the whole team, and I was only 10 minutes through stick saves, and we had to go on stage. But it was like pick and ban stuff, and it was like super analytical stuff, like wards plays, like this guy standing here at this time. And,
oh, yeah. Though let me maybe clarify this. So when I coached CLG, I worked with Tony. Tony was more on that side of things. So he'd be like, okay, in this specific jungler, he paths like this. So if he starts on this side, recognize he's probably gonna do these camps and gank bot like at this time. And then that's like really specific prep that you do before the game to refresh the players. You'd be like, okay, we've talked about it this week. We know this guy has really like his jungle routes are like this. Like, remember he does this. Or you know that this guy wards here and here. So if you're sweeping, make sure to remember to sweep in these areas or pink these areas or dodge these areas where you're looking to roam to gank. And so like that's all stuff that of course you talk about throughout the week, but like when you're actually before the game, you like remind the players to make sure that it's in their heads when the game starts.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could understand then how maybe going back to back, your mental's all fucked up. You don't have enough time. Like if you're on a losing streak, it can get real fucking rough for you. If it's like, all right, dude, you just lost that game. Forget, dude. I remember that's what Odie used to do to us, man. When we lose a game, he's just like, dude, forget about it. Go to the next game and just give it your all, and then we fucking lose that game too. I can see how that shit might start weighing on a player. So. Yeah, maybe playing back-to-back games a little excessive. As a spectator, though, I love it.
Like, even for me, if you want to force every team to play back-to-back games, fine. But there's random preference. Like, only 2 of the 4 teams play back-to-back. So it's like, wait a second. Like, how does Riot choose which is the other one? Oh, I guess the first seed plays back-to-back. But what about the other person who gets no back-to-back games? It's just random. And I'm just...
Makes it fun, dude.
That feels so bad for me. Like, I'm okay if you want to sacrifice some integrity and make it entertaining. I'm okay as long as there's like a fair trade-off. In this sense, I feel like it's not fair.
I feel
it
like
must suck for the teams who have to play back to back, and they like their first game is like super important. Like it's like you're out or you're in.
Oh yeah, the next game's worthless.
Like, I guess we're out.
Yeah, that shit must be. Oh god, dude, I remember.
It happened to G2.
Yeah, God, that happened to us on Dignitas so much too. We'd have to play like a meaningful tournament, we'd fucking lose, and then the next game was just entirely worthless, and then it'd just be like, whatever, man. Who gives a shit anymore? Yeah,
Oh,
I can see how maybe this might be a problem for the players, but hey, fuck the players, man. You guys have anything else to say about it?
I'm good.
You guys are both good? All right. Then we can all agree this shit was great. We love it. Good shit, Riot. Next topic. Monte Cristo said it was commendable TSM players gave up streaming income and more to focus on winning. Thoughts? I agree. Anyone else? Is that it?
Wait.
I think it was commendable because obviously, like, if Bjerg practices off stream, he's probably gonna be a lot more meaningful. It's gonna be more focused on the game. He doesn't have to look at chat. He doesn't have to care about anything else but the game. But at the same time, it's like I feel like it shouldn't be like too highly praised because I feel like players should be allowed to like stream and do other stuff without being like you have to do this to be the best in the world. Because it does like super hurt them. Because if Bjerg streams for like, how much like average viewers does Bjerg get when he streams? It's like something ridiculous, like 35K,
30K, I think.
30K, something ridiculous. If you stream like, imagine if you stream like Sneaky, where you streamed every day, I mean, he'd get a lot of money.
Yeah, like I can say from personal experience, he would be doing all right he would be making a living. If he did that.
And he can afford rent, barely.
Yeah. He's just barely scraped by, man. Like, I think it is commendable. I mean, you have to have the desire to win. So I don't think that it's something like, oh my God, Bjergsen, you gave up streaming to fucking play competitive. Good shit, dude. Like, if you want to play competitive, you have to have the drive to actually like go and fucking do it. And if that happens, then you're probably not going to be streaming that often. But I agree. Yeah, he could have probably streamed a lot more than I mean, I don't know how it get like this TSM. You're not allowed. You need to get back to work, Bjergsen. You need to carry this garbage ass team. Get back to work. Like how does it work in the TSM household?
From what I understand, it's just scheduled. So they wake up, they have like breakfast, they do like their VOD review, they get into scrims, they do like pre-scrim, post-game analysis. Then after scrims, like they can play like 2 games of solo queue, and then usually it's just off stream for the most part.
Oh, they just practice off stream?
Or it's like apparently like their entire day schedule lasts something like 12 to 14 hours. And so like by the very end, like at best they could play like 1 to 2 solo queue games. Sometimes people just use that time to like just go over the VODs of the scrims of that day. Like I know I talked to Golden Glue when he was working with Bjergsen, and essentially like at the very end of the day they just went over the VODs together and talked about like the laning phase and like how it went. And I'm just like that's so much work. Like that's an insane level of work. And honestly, from what Monte said, this is like the level of work that Koreans have been putting in for years.
Yeah, I mean that shit sounds fucking. I mean, I gotta be honest. That sounds fucking awful. Like maybe I'm just a fucking loser. Do you guys agree? Am I just a fucking loser here or what? That
Yes.
sounds
Yes.
miserable. Yes, I guess I'm just you got me, guys. I'm just a big old fucking loser. Don't want to spend 14 hours every single fucking day. Like, dude, I actually felt really bad for Double Lift because I mean I fucking love that guy and he's got the fucking heart to like go above and beyond. But it was just like, God, he put in so much effort, so much to just like try to get to the top, and people were like, "Oh my god, Double Lift at Worlds versus the greatest! I can't wait to watch." He got absolutely shit on, and then everyone just fucking pounced on it. Dude, you suck, Double Lift. Just retire right now, dude. If I was him, oh my god, man, that would just it would be too much for me. That's why I agree. It's commendable that TSM did what they did because I wouldn't be able to have that kind of schedule. It'd just be too fucking much for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you want to win worlds, you probably have to follow something along the schedule, a similar schedule. But I also think
Wait, what
that
about Albus Knox though? They're gonna win
I,
worlds.
I don't think they're gonna win. I don't think they're gonna win worlds. The fact that they can get that far, and C9 has players who stream a lot. Like I think Sneaky streams a lot. Like from what I understand, like a ton. But I don't follow Sneaky, but almost daily. And I feel like his level of play at Worlds was still really good. So maybe it is about achieving a balance, but I think that I at least commend TSM for their hard work. And honestly, they did a lot better this year. A lot from just the amount of hard work that the top teams put in. Immortals, TSM, like COG, and C9 put in a ton of work this year, and their record shows it. They went 9-9 this year in the second week or overall in the group stage, and that's way better than last year where I think we went like 6-12 or something really bad.
Yeah, like I mean, I just I have to commend TSM again because the amount of work they put in. They must have put in more work than any other team, right? Like from the sounds of their
No,
schedule.
100%. Like, and in fact, I know a lot of their players got like kind of annoyed that other teams are like playing WoW or like playing
Yeah, like,
streaming.
dude, if I was
They're
Double
giving
Lift
up a
and
lot of
C9,
stuff.
I see fucking Sneaky streaming and he's fucking just like fucking around with his stupid butthole shit or whatever the fuck is his stream. And then Double Lift's over here, I gotta get better. I'm gonna become the best. This is all me. And then he goes to Worlds, Sneaky fucking makes it out of groups. Their fucking groups a joke. Double Lift busting his ass. Oh, God, man. It's just my heart goes out to him. I hope that they do another year, but if he does end up going the streaming route, I wouldn't blame him. But yeah, I hope
I
he goes competitive.
I
But
hope he stays another year too. I think him and Bjerg are some of the best players in North America for sure, and that they could do it. If they have at least the foundation to do it. I guess
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
like I think TSM. I don't want to say unlucky, dude, because that's like
That's very European. Of you.
yeah, it's very European, and it's like disqualifying the achievements of the people in the group. But man, that shit was just fucking unlucky, man. I think that they could have. I think they should have gone farther. It sucks that they got eliminated, but what do you think, Ian? If you were on a team that made you work your ass off like this, would you be down for it or no?
I mean, personally, I'd be down for it because I think it's cool to see, or it's cool to be like that competitive. But like you said, dude, you work that goddamn hard, and you just get fucking trashed at Worlds, and then everyone shits on you the whole
Yeah.
time. Retire, you fucking loser.
Yeah, it
It
can be
must
fucking
really suck
brutal.
for all TS.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that TSM doesn't like disregard the fact that I mean their hard work is appreciated by all their. Hopefully, it's appreciated. I can't speak for all their fans, but I mean, watching my washed up ass watching that shit, I was like, damn, dude, these guys are gonna fuck it. These guys are onto something. I can't wait to see them. I mean, it didn't work out, but I mean, I can't wait to see them next year. They're turning me into a TSM fan, dude, to say the least. So, hey, TSM. You guys are all right. Hopefully next year. You guys have anything else to say about this, though?
I'm good, man.
Good as well.
All right, then. Let's move on. The next topic. The next topic is going to involve a very special someone.
Oh, it's after the, okay.
A very special someone. We're gonna be getting someone on the call Twitch chat. Give us a moment while we go in.
I think he's already here. In fact, I'm pretty sure
Communicate
he's already here.
to our
Oh,
friend.
hi.
Our
Oh,
friend.
hello.
Introduce yourself in case people don't know you. Our friend joining us here today.
So my name is Barry. I go by Edelweiss. And I was the former translator for OGN, and I managed Energy Esports League of Legends team this summer split.
Edelweiss, what will you be joining our humble show today for?
Well, there was this manifesto of some sorts that came out that was released on the TL forums. It was like a translation of what GBM said on a talk show. So, and it was some pretty spicy stuff.
I love spicy. Well, you want to get into the nitty gritty then? Is golden glue really that Like, what do you think about it?
The funny thing is, like, I messaged GBM after that article came out, and he was like, "Wait, really? Like, I didn't think anybody would translate that shit." So it's like, and then I'm talking to him, and it's like, so I think the part that people got most butthurt about GBM was that you call Golden Glue trash, and then Golden Glue said that he solo killed you, and he's like, "What are you talking about? I solo killed him all the time in scrim." So it's like there's like this big dick swing that happened after a little bit, but like his intent was like, well, he was just trying to say like the skill level between NA number 1 versus KR number 1 was like this huge gap, and to be fair, like the hosts on that show were like goading him to like say shit. So I don't know. You can take it as you will. It was like supposed to be a comedy show.
Oh, it was a comedy show. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure what it was because I just read the thing and it just sounded like GBM was just flaming like, dude, all these guys suck. I'm so much better than everyone. Fuck everyone on this dumbass team. I was like, Jesus, dude. I mean, I don't know the context, but my God, GBM.
Yeah, it's like a 2-hour long show where he's sitting there and they're just talking about it's essentially like Beyond the Rift almost, or like other show, and then they just like make jokes and talk about stuff, and like GBM like was like flaming himself like half the time too. So it's like the guy Wax Angel took like the spiciest parts and then just like translated and be like, oh, look at what GBM said, he.
Oh, so it wasn't the entire thing. I didn't even realize it was. I thought it was like a fucking written interview that he was translating. I didn't realize it was a 2-hour show that he only like picked and chose. Like, oh, hey, this one's really good. Let me get this in here.
Yeah, so like, I mean, he's everything that was translated, he did actually say on the show because I watched it after. But the thing is, like the purpose of the show was like he didn't go on to do an interview to flame his old teammates, right? Like,
yeah.
The host goaded him into like saying stuff.
Oh man, I think I understand that, but still kind of rubs me a little bit the wrong way. Like, like when I just look at the comments, I'm just like, it feels like he down, like it's supposed to be a comedy show. I understand that he downplays like a lot of this stuff that he does, like, or at least in the answers that I read, I was like, oh, okay, you know, where even at the very end when he talked about like, oh, in the end, no one on the team ended up trying, so he started playing like Maple Story and watching like Game of Thrones, right? And then it's like, but and then like he says it in a way that's supposed to be like an endearing thing. But when I read that, I was like, wait a second, my mid laner also like these guys. He's saying these guys clocked out in the middle of the season, and but he clocked out too, and maybe even
hardcore,
maybe even worse than like them. And like he plays his offense like, and by the way, I still got 300 points. You know,
to be fair, like the people that tried the hardest were like Antorin, like worked his ass off. Same with like Quas and like OQ. Like those three were like the hardest workers on that team. And just like meanwhile you see GBM watching Doctor Who while playing solo queue. It's just like what are you doing, man? It's like going top lane Singe and like look at me, I'm Suicide Singe. I was like, what the fuck, man?
So like can you like kind of explain a little bit about what happened in RG? Like you don't have to go into the nitty gritty. I'm not asking you to flame everyone on that team, but like he said some stuff, and obviously I want to know, and I think everyone watching kind of wants to know like what actually did happen with NRG. Like, did they implode because people stopped trying, or like what happened?
No, so it didn't implode because people stopped trying. Like people tried. Like up until the very end, people were like trying as hard as they could, right? Like the thing is, my assessment was that there was just something lacking in terms of like synergy with the team. And like when you go like if you looked at a lot of our games, we did really well in lane swaps. We had a fantastic early game for like the ranking that we were, but then we couldn't convert it into like a mid game and late game wins. So we couldn't close our leads. So and then a lot of the problems were just synergy issues. People just didn't trust each other enough to like kind of engage and like trust their teammates to follow up and win the fight. So I think that was the biggest issue with energy. And like it wasn't there was like some giant implosion. It was just kind of a gradual thing where people kind of just like it wore on their like kind of mental state constantly. But I don't think it was like an implosion of sorts. Like people tried up until the end.
Yeah, I can understand what I mean. Me and Scarra, I know Scarra, we can understand that shit, dude, because that's pretty much what happened. Like watching NRG was basically like watching Dignitas because I'd watch people that just like you'd get a lead early game, and I was like, damn, dude, NRG's fucking going crazy, and then it's just this slow grind of just nobody doing anything, the lead slowly evaporating, like 100 gold. 200 gold, like 300 gold, the lead just disappears, and then it's like, well, I guess they lost. Well, so much for the lead that they got. Like,
Well, I mean, like Scar knows, like I couldn't be in the green room, like the team waiting room, because it was just so stressful. Because like the coach and the staff got like really like passionate during the game, and I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, oh god, like what do I do? So I would go like go to the player lounge or go to the press room to hang out and watch the games from there. But like it was just they tried, it's just they just couldn't execute.
yeah, I definitely understand what you mean with that. Cause yeah, like NRG's like people were like, man, NRG's bunch of garbage play. Dude, you want to see a bunch of garbage players? Look at Echo Fox's roster. Like NRG was pretty fucking good, dude. Like I think I think NRG had the potential to be pretty good, but dude, synergy is like people downplay that shit so much, but synergy is one of the most important things in League of Legends. I personally think, like, if you don't synergize, it doesn't matter how fucking good you are. Because if your jungler doesn't trust the fucking support, or the support doesn't trust the AD, like nothing's fucking happening. And yeah, that's what it just seemed like on NRG. Is just nobody trusted anybody. So it was just a
I mean, like
slow
out of
bleed
games
out.
they were fine. It's just I guess in game nothing really clicked.
Yeah, like again, I completely understand that because Scar knows me and Crumbs had the same fucking feelings with each other.
Yeah, you guys have had some intense feelings. We'll go with that. Very
Yeah.
passionate.
Yeah, we had some synergy issues with one another. That was a damn shame then. I don't know, the GBM statements though, they just seemed kind of, yeah, I agree with Scar. They did rub me the wrong way, but I guess if it was like joking and I can't see the full context of it, I guess it's not that bad. I don't know.
I mean, honestly, for me, I was just like, oh, I didn't know it was a comedy show. So my first reaction was he's trying to save face because he wants to try to go back into professional play as a jungler. And actually, people have been kind of looking at him. I know Rush made some comments on him. He's been on some Korean streams before. Like, he looks pretty good. Like, he doesn't look that bad. And so, like, maybe he's like trying to salvage some of his reputation so that people would consider him for his new role. And that's what I first thought when he made the comments. Now, though, that it's on the comedy show, I can like give him maybe a little bit more leeway. I don't like it, but I understand why it came out.
I mean, he definitely could have had more. I agree with that, but I mean, well, this is the way I put it to him. He's like, hey, like you've come up in a negative context in the in the North American community, but at least they're thinking of you. You're still relevant in their mind, so like take it as a win.
oh God,
That's pretty good. I mean, what do his Korean fans think? I mean, they understand the context of it. Do they have any problems with it, or is it just the stupid ass NA fans looking for drama, or what?
I actually haven't checked. Like, I don't check Inven and stuff like that often, so it's like I can't really speak to that. But generally, when drama on NA happens, it's like pretty much what you said, like stupid ass NA fans. But like,
Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah, I mean, I agree. He could have worded it a little friendlier, like, haha, I was just messing around, dudes, but whatever. You got anything to say about it, man?
I thought it was like different when in terms of like NA KR. Didn't like KR had this whole like shit talking thing for like every game where like both teams would just like shit talk each other.
Oh yeah, like those were some the best stuff came out there. Like, cause like they would say stuff like Ryu is still dying to this day, and it's like every
Oh,
3 seconds someone is watching the Zed versus Zed like clip. So Ryu's dying every 3 seconds. So it's like they say a lot of great stuff. Like, for example, GBM said to Dottie, it's like, oh, when Dottie plays Gragas, he doesn't throw barrels, he throws games. So it's like they say shit like that all the time. Like, it's great, and it's like I think when trash talk is kind of like presented in that kind of like format where it's like where the pros are like laughing, it's video, and like on social media you can't tell if like someone's like saying it jokingly or if they're like legit flaming someone, right? So when it's in like a video format like that, then it's so much better because like you could say they're enjoying it, the other side gets a chance to throw barbs back. So it's like I think that's what's missing in a lot of the trash talk because it's just like one side of social media instead of like a video format that Riot does, right? Like, so that'd be great, I would think, like if they did trash talk in that way.
Yeah, because without that stuff, GBM like it just straight up looks like another Dunzo manifesto. It's on everyone.
The 2-hour video version of the Dunzo Manifesto.
That would have been pretty good. Yeah, that shit. I thought it was interesting. I respect GBM for it. I didn't understand the context of it, so it makes me respect him a little less because I wanted him to just go full out flame mode. So now that I know that he was just like half joking about it, it's like, man, come on, dude. But
I mean, when I first saw it, I got kind of heated because I love Kiwi, and I like heard a little bit about what happened on the inside of that team, so I was just like, for me, I always thought that unless you were a better player, you can't say anything. Like, you have to stay. A lot of people, like for instance, Dardock has to stay humble because he doesn't have the allocades or like the performance to be like really cocky. But I remember Dardock even telling me, he's like, as soon as I win this split, instantly I'm gonna go on Twitter. I just started laughing. But like the same for GBM. Like, I thought it was really weird for him to say those level of remarks because he's not like the level of mid laner that Bjergsen is. Like, if Bjergsen said that, I mean, you could get mad, but like you can't really say anything. Like, straight up. Like,
yeah, if Bjergsen popped off about Worlds, dude, I'd be like,
yeah,
all right,
if he straight up was just like, yeah, I thought like all the mid laners in my group, my group were terrible, and he saw him like solo kill every mid laner but Crown. And so it's like, well, it's BM as hell, but he could say it because he's so good. Whereas GBM is like, he had like the worst summer performance I've ever seen him play. He was like a bottom 2 mid laner in the
he had
league.
Like second most deaths, right?
Yeah, and for him to say that kind of stuff, I was just like, oh my god, like I would never ever
fair about that stat. To be fair about that stat, if you look at the champions he was playing like a lot of like champs that dive in, like Vlad, Lissandra, and shit like that. So it's like you're gonna rack up some deaths if you're like initiating. Let's be real.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
Like the most deaths, like oh my god, like I can see like. But yeah, you know what I mean, right? Like, I didn't think he played well enough to be able to say some of the statements that he did. Like, I really thought the worst, and now that I'm hearing it was like more of a comedy thing, I'm like, okay, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, he was hardcore being goated. Like, yes, he could have like resisted, and then like been more diplomatic, but where's the fun in that?
I agree with that, dude. Dude, we're all just trying to have a little fun, man. That's why people need to take it not so serious. GBM wants to flame a couple people. What's wrong with that, man? I agree with you on that one, dude. All right, you got any closing remarks about GB? Anything you want the fans to know about GB? He's not that bad of a guy. Anything else?
I mean, he's just mega troll, so like he just does stuff. But the thing is, like, I mean, I wish him the best, and I hope he can come back as a pro jungler because he is a friend of mine. So hopefully, hoping for the best. Maybe you could watch his mouth a little bit.
I think that's accurate. That's a good way of putting it. All right, thank you, Edelweiss, for joining us then and helping clear up the misconception about my boy.
Well, thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, thanks, Barry.
Thanks, Barry. Bye. All right, let's move on then. Now that we've cleared up the GBM issue, hopefully there's no more problems with that one. And now we're gonna move on. Are you guys ready for it?
I'm ready.
We're moving on to World Championships, baby. Are you ready, Yuna?
Oh, I'm ready. No, I'm not. We fucking lost.
Group A. Dude, this is Yuna's group, the CLG. Group A, the group of life. And Group B. Nobody called it the group of life, but whatever.
Wait, I was about to say, wait, Group A is a group of life? Wait a
Nobody
fucking
called that
minute.
shit. All right, Group A. We're gonna be going over some topics. So we're gonna start out topic number 1. Albus Knox, the savior of the wild card region. I gotta say, dude, I wasn't expecting anything from Albus Knox. I played them in solo queue. I was like, these guys are the most awful players I've ever played with. And then they showed up at Worlds, dude. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. These guys seem pretty decent. What did you think, though?
I feel exactly the same. I mean, once you're mentioned as the name wild card when you're going into Worlds, people automatically assume you're gonna lose every single game. But on the World stage, they play like a lot better, and I feel like they're just gonna be the only outlier for a while. I mean, Instant perform as well as them, and I don't want to call it lucky because I think they play very well, but I think they're just
Just call it
single
lucky,
outlier.
I mean, I think the Diamond recently did an interview where he talked about Albus, and he said that because like they don't care as much, like they're able to utilize more of their relative overall potential than the other teams in the group stage. So he said that they were able to play up to 90% of their potential, whereas like all the other teams played a lot worse than like how good they were actually. Like, and just look at Group A as a good example. You know, you got G2, heavy favorites from the European region now. Big joke. You know, Rocks, ignore their score. I'm serious. Legit, aside from their last 2 games, Peanut played awfully, and like I don't want to say they're lucky to come out of the groups because they were better than the other people in the groups, but they did not play nearly as well as you'd expect from their team. And the same with CLG. You know, everyone expected them to like kind of maybe match up a little bit, but it feels like the running story of Worlds is that teams didn't play as well as we thought, with the exception of like some like Samsung Galaxy and SKT.
Yeah, like people meme about the gap. Like I don't know if the gap's closing or if just everyone sucks ass, but like some of those games watching them, like the decision. So I think that decision making is like the most important thing about League. So I'd watch like, dude, I love Huhi. I love everyone on CLG, dude. But Huhi versus Albus Knox, the Karma versus Victor mid lane matchup, like watching that game, I was just like, this camp, like, is this really happening? Like some of the plays he'd make, like, okay, do you remember the play where he TP'd middle and then flashed out immediately?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even think I don't think that was that bad because he got lane priority. He chunked the mid laner to like half life. He had no more pots and he had to shop up. He was like up 2,000 gold worth of item. I was like, this is pretty good. Like he made a really good decision. And then he runs into the brush. He's getting ganked. He runs back out into a 1v2 with no flash, gets insta-killed, and then gets his jungler killed. And then I was just like how do you think that's like, where in the world is that a good decision? Like that shit just didn't make any sense. Like some of the plays I saw people make, like CLG versus G2, like Tricks, the G2 jungler, I watched him playing Olaf. He just runs straight into people and just feed. Like he was basically feeding. Like, I was like, what the fuck is going on in this game? Like people played so fucking bad and it just didn't make any sense to me. I don't know.
I agree. I feel like, especially with like, I guess Rocks and G2 and us as well, it's like there's a lot of things that just like, when you look at it, you just like spam the chat with fucking question marks. It's like, why the hell would anyone fucking do that? And I don't know why that happened. I think for us, it was, I think a little bit of I don't know what to say actually. I don't know.
I
Like,
mean, I
feel
just
like we
figured it was
weren't
nerves or something. I have no idea though.
I don't know, something.
Yeah.
But there's those moments where you're just like, holy shit, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, like Albus Knox being the savior of the wildcard region. I mean, again, I don't want to discredit them. They played really well, and they definitely, out of that group, they deserve to make it out. But I'm interested to see how the matchup versus H2K will go. I'm interested to see that one. So let's just say that. But let's move on to the. Or you have anything to say about Albus Knox, Scarra?
No, I think they played well. They got out. We'll see what happens next round.
Yeah. So topic number 2, C9 barely makes it out while CLG fails, dude. But failed. Scar comes up with these, dude. So you're gonna have to,
Fail.
yeah, just failures, man.
Fuck COG.
Honestly, of the 3 teams I wanted to go to, I predicted the 2 of the 3 people would pass groups. I wanted TSM and CLG to do it. TSM because they put in so much hard work, and I think they did the best Western team at the event. And then CLG because I'm obviously favorites of them, and I think that they have unique styles of play. Like they in the first week of group stage, they faked the level 1 to see to fake out where the Olaf was starting on what side. On the next week, they'll do like interesting level 1s or do things where other teams won't do. Like they have a very interesting type of like play style, interesting adaptations. And I think that makes them an interesting team to watch. And C9, I thought that I don't know how good they would look. And just in general, they weren't as good as TSM or as interesting as CLG. However, lo and behold, the savior of the NA race is Sneaky and his memes. So I don't think they even played that much better. Like their group may be a little bit easier. All 3 NA teams went 3-3, and C9, well, they drew the lucky card. They got out.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely thought that CLG or TSL. Like, no offense to C9. I mean, hey, maybe they can do it, but I think that if NA wanted a chance to like win worlds, it would be CLG or TSL. Like, I don't think C9 has what it takes to like end up getting to the finals. What do you think, then?
Damn, dude, you just gonna shit on C9 like that?
Dude, what do you think, then? You think C9's better than CLG TSL?
No, I don't think so. I also agree. I think TSM was the most favorite NA team, and then COG, and then C9. But the way it ended up, I feel like out of groups, they played better than us.
Question mark?
Yeah, is that even a question?
I don't know. It just felt like there's just some shit you just like you don't know what went wrong. Like for us on COG, like I just don't know what went wrong. There's like when we're on stage, I feel like everyone the games where we won were like fucking stomps. Like the game's just over like at 10 minutes. They can't do anything. And the games we lost, I'm just like we've played like this before. We know what to do, and then we don't do it. And you're just like sitting there watching from the coaching area, and you're just like, what the fuck went wrong?
Dude, that's what it was like watching at home, man. Watching those CLG games.
Like honestly, I feel a lot better if C9 like actually did great. Like if they were like 6-0 out of that group, so like 5-1, even 4-2, I'd be like, okay, I wouldn't care. But like I worry for them because when I watch their games, like I think Impact has a terrible day of performance. Like I didn't think he played that well at all. And afterwards, Smoothie told me that Impact like apologized to them for his bad play. Like, and you saw that one game when Jets is literally 7-0 out of like 7-0, and they couldn't close out the game to end for like their careers. It was like such a tense game because it got so long that you're just like, are they gonna lose this game? Like I can't believe it. And then you look at the team fights, like how did it even take so long? Well, Meteos Flash Rek'Sai W'd under Inhib Tower. Okay, Smoothie Flash combo pulled the Victor, and Impact overheats on Rumble, and so they can't kill Victor, and then they get aced. And you're just like, this is and they still win the game, but they do that like 2 or 3 times where the coordination with their top laner isn't very good, and it's just a throw. And it feels really bad for me to watch that and be like, I can't say that like, oh wow, they played so clean that day. It was just like, wow, I guess the other teams played worse. Yeah. And they got out.
Yeah, that's why this Worlds just felt like it wasn't like, damn, these guys are playing so good. It's like, Well, these guys are playing okay. Everyone else is playing like trash. So I mean, I guess they won. That's kind of hype, dude. I don't know that, but let's go out. Let's move on to the next topic. SKT1 still a heavy contender to win it all. I'm giving it to SKT to win it all. I'm just gonna say it right now, dude. SKT wins it all.
Yeah, I agree. I think SKT is gonna win it all.
I can't bet against them, dude. Faker, I just played against Faker 3 times in a row. He
Jesus,
smacked me
dude.
silly 3 times in a row, and then now I'm just like, you know what? Faker's got this, dude. Because if he can beat me in solo queue, of course he's gonna win Worlds.
Yeah, that's the direct
Damn,
one-to-one.
a lot of people can win worlds, dude.
Wait, what? What?
Apparently, I can't win worlds because
I can win worlds too. Holy shit!
Yeah, I don't know. I just think SKT, like, this Worlds has been such a fucking mess that I'm gonna go with the tried and true staple of SKT to win it all. Maybe they don't, dude. I don't fucking know. My predictions were worth shit, dude. Albus Nox was like the best looking team in Group A, man. Who gives a shit what my predictions are anymore? Like, just throw all that shit out. Just go with SKT, dude.
I think it's the safest bet. If you had to bet money, I mean, who would you bet money on, Scar? If you had to choose one team, you tell me you wouldn't pick SKT?
It'd be SKT or Samsung. Samsung like the best out of groups, but I just think SKT's got it. Like, it's actually insane that somehow at group stage SKT is the favorite again, even after Samsung smashed 2 games in 24 and 25 minutes. That was their back-to-back games in the second week of group stage, but I still think I have this feeling that SKT is just going to take it all again.
Yeah, I think we all do.
A third set of SKT skins. I can't fucking wait.
All right, next topic. I may roll swap fiasco. Dude, they were looking pretty good in the roll swaps. I liked it, man.
Maybe they should have kept it that way, because when their fucking mid laner plays mid, he just like shits the bed. When he plays jungle, he actually carries a fucking game on Lee Sin.
Legit, like I like talked to some Chinese people, and they're just like, it's a tragedy that Ro didn't get banned for 3 games in a row. So and I was just like,
dude, watching that game, they were popping. I was like, damn, dude, these guys look pretty good, man.
no, it's actually disgusting, by the way, that their mid laner plays jungle better than he plays mid lane. Like Athena, that guy plays Lee great, like actually super good. And then I don't know, man. It feels so bad for me to be like, yeah, he's playing really well. Like, maybe better than their actual jungle. I thought that they should maybe consider keeping their mid lane mid and then maybe replacing Road with a Voidless, but that just seems so weird.
I thought it would have been a good idea, dude. I mean, they actually the game they won with their which roll saw whatever. I think it looked like their best game in groups. I don't know how that happens, but it straight up did.
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's. I need to talk about this. IMA is a terrible team to watch. I hate watching IMA. Actually, more than watching Flash Wolves, so at least I know Flash Wolves can win games and then they just suck after the early game. IMA games make no sense. Their drafts are just downright, not even disrespectful. They're just terrible. I'm going to first pick Kennen, and I'm going to flex it into support, and then I'm just going to int against C9. I remember talking to Smoothie. Smoothie literally came up to me. He's just like, I don't know what happened. Road just started inting against us. And I was just like, yeah, that's what it looked like too. It's like, and like they have draft situations where they can draft to lose every single lane. They pick Kha'Zix into Olaf and they get disrespected by the SKT draft and still lose. And I'm just like, but they'll steal Barons. And the worst thing is they don't just lose. They lose in a way that you think to yourself, how did they win games? Because like they'll like get a Baron steal or they get something. You'll be like, oh, okay, maybe. But for the most part, I hate watching anime games. I'm so happy they're not moving on. Like,
yeah, that's fucked up, man. Jeez.
Oh, I'm happy you guys are out. Get the fuck.
My coworker literally said it like this. She said, she said, I don't think IMA has ever won a game that they deserve to win. And I was just like, oh my god.
Holy shit.
You guys are just fucking letting them have it, man. God.
But no, the IMA games were like torture to me. Like, I actually got a headache watching them. So, no offense to IMA, no.
Dude, let's just forget the IMA thing, dude. Just Scarra's fucking tearing him a new one. Let's just fucking move on to something. You got any closing remarks on Group A, Group B, dude? Other than I may?
It sucks that Flash Wolves couldn't make it. None of the LMS regions were able to make it out, so I'm really sad about that. And I think that Carson Maple are really good.
I agree. You got anything, Una?
I'm good.
All right, then. Let's move on then to Group C and Group D. H2K. You called it. Scarra the Prophet, man. He said they're going to start winning, and they started to win, dude. Activated God mode this week, man. What'd you think of H2K?
Well, I think they did the opposite of my pick'ems, which as my pick'em score went down lower and lower throughout week 2, they went up and up. So I think like they're the reverse of me. I'm the second lowest pick'em at the moment, and they're like the very top of their group.
Second though.
Wait, are you
no,
really?
I did not do very well on the celebrity pick'ems, to say the least. But
Hey, it
I think
happens.
honestly, they're such a random team. Like I talked to Forgiven, the Forgiven interview just came out. You should watch it, by the way, because this is one of his answers. I asked him, so what changed between week 1 and week 2? And he literally comes out, turns to me, he says, it's just random. And I'm just like, can you clarify? Like I don't know what that means. He's like, well, sometimes you can take like long breaks and then like come back and like do really well and win, and then sometimes like you'll play like super hard and you just like won't win. Yeah, going from week 1 to week 2 is just random. I just started laughing because that's like not the type of description I thought Forgiven would say.
I mean, he's modest, dude. You gotta respect that. He didn't want to say that he's just better than everyone. He's just, hey, we lucked out.
Sure? You sure
You
you just
sure?
want to say that? Are you
Okay,
sure?
maybe he wants to
Are
say
you
that.
sure?
Dude, come
But
on, bro.
I also thought Ryu played like the games of his life. Like I actually think current Ryu at Worlds might be the best Ryu I've ever seen. Especially in like the last year. Like he's downright scary on Rise. If H2K, if he keeps playing like that, H2K is gonna go God mode this World.
You think SKT versus H2K?
Maybe, honestly, maybe.
You want to see Ryu get his revenge finally?
Yeah, I want to see Ryu get his revenge. Ryu, Jesus.
Right.
Dude, come on, man.
I
Let's
agree,
move.
though. I think. Oh, you
What,
want
no. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say I agree. I think like H2K have played the best. I think if there was one group that I'd say is a group of life, it was Group C, but like I feel
Are
like
you trying to
H2K
belittle them?
really no. I mean, did you see AHQ and INS? I feel like it was just a match between H2K and EDG, and then EDG. What happened? Everyone was like, okay, the group of life is EDG wins first, and then the other 3 fight to the death. But it became like the opposite, where H2 INS fucked up, and then EDG was also like a little shaky, and because their top laner just intentionally fed every game. But I think H2K really like exploited them, and they really do look like they could actually win more games.
The problem I have with H2K is they have so many specific conditions that needs to be fulfilled for them to win. It's actually insane. Like watching their games, they have one play style or like one generic play style. It's they get a lead and they lane for 20 minutes, and then afterwards they break out of lane and they win the game. By then they have like a 7K gold lead. But like for them, you know how in this meta it's like you gotta get first tower, you gotta look to rotate to get other towers. For them, their best case scenario is Yankos neutralizes the other jungler, just like kills him or like stops him from ganking, and all 3 of their players just lane for 20 minutes. They like breaking the tower is like counterproductive to what H2K needs to win the game. They literally just lane, and then they get such a massive lead while laning. They don't need to know how to close out with close lead. And if you look at all their games, that's actually what they did. They laned for 20 minutes and they just won the game. It's actually disgusting. And they can only do that if they have like a lead in the jungle, if the laning phase is like extended, if the other team doesn't like commit all these dives, and Yankos is able to control all these people. And the weirdest thing is all the conditions were met every game. And I
mean, you don't think they'll be able to keep meeting that? Like, you think
I'm just saying though, they're just really fortunate for stuff to come together. I think if Yakos doesn't get first blood and doesn't get a lead in the jungle, but like it might be hard. They do that every single game, so it's like, what do I even say to that? Like that's like saying like, yeah, if you can't get the lead, you won't win. But if they get a lead like 90% of the games, like what can I say about that? I can't say anything because it means that they can win 90% of their games, and that's like a better thing than anyone else. I just think that they're really, really great at laning, and like the current meta is like Forgiven must be like be so happy where like Caitlyn's the first pick in the thing, and like he plays Caitlyn like a god. And so I swear to God, if they can fulfill their like multiple possible like their requirements to win the game, which is like win early, extend the laning phase, then just win the game, they can like beat anyone. But I think maybe it might not be easier against better teams.
All right, fair enough. Topic number 2. TSM, the dream is dead. Everything that they worked on, man, just thrown into the garbage. What do you guys think?
I think it's probably the saddest their players will ever be because like we went over, they worked the hardest, and I think like before they lost, of course, everyone believed in them to make it out of groups even first, and it was just like shocking to see them lose. And then even like as soon as they lost to RNG, I had so many people just being like, wait a minute, there's no tiebreaker game. They're 3-3. This system is fucking stupid. TSM should play one more game. Please let them play one more game. I don't want them to lose.
Oh God.
Well, what do you think? You thought it was fair that TSM wasn't able to play one more game?
Yeah, I thought
Scar?
it was fair.
That's
man.
bullshit, man. Fucking riot, dude.
I thought it was fair. Like, what can I even say about it, dude? Like, well, the things that I talked about last week, where the bot lane doesn't perform, against RNG, like happened, and it happened again, and they just got stomped, and it was really unlucky because Uzi got a triple kill on like the one play that happened, and like the only way RNG wins is through their bot lane or their bot side. So it was just like the perfect storm happened, and RNG got like triple mountain. Like they got like they're terrible at getting objectives. If they didn't get triple mountain, I'm pretty sure they would have lost that game. But like literally the forces above just like wanted TSM to lose. Like after Uzi got 3 kills and they got triple mountain, they couldn't not get Barons. They couldn't not get Dragons. It was just like given to them because they got that. And I can't say anything. Like I don't even think they deserve another game because not only did Doublelift play really badly, in the one game Doublelift played super well, the Lucian game, Bjergsen played probably the worst game I've ever seen him play. Yeah. And people are like, it's because Crown's Victor's so good. I'm like, are you serious? I watched him lane. He would, if he played like that against anyone, he would still have gotten smashed. No, maybe if he would have gotten solo killed in like 2 random positions, like one position and then like in another position where support came up. But that was actually the worst I've ever seen Bjerg play in lane, ever. Like, and like, I'm kind of like almost the entire summer split and like the entire spring split. That's like almost the worst I've ever seen him play. And it was just really unfortunate, you know. I don't think they deserve second chances if they mess up that many times. It just sucks that he had to underperform that one game, and like when he did really badly, Doublelift stepped up, almost carried, and then vice versa, right? When Doublelift did really badly, Bjerg almost carried down our Rise, like almost. It was close, and it just didn't work out because everything didn't come together.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way the cookie crumbles, guys. It just is what it is, man. TSM sucks. Let's go on to topic number 3. Samsung bullied everyone. What do you think of Samsung?
They look like the best team.
The best team at Worlds?
They 25-minute wins and 2 25-minute wins. They saved the press room from having to stay till midnight. Like, I'm telling you, they looked almost the cleanest. They got their comfort picks every time. I don't understand. Like when you think about how they draft against Samsung Galaxy, the first thing you should think about is like, oh, what is their mid lane play a lot? Victor? I wonder if we should ban that pick. Nah, it's probably not that good. And like, okay, the TSM game happens, he goes off. Oh, okay, whatever. Then TSM tested it for them. They are that good, that Victor. You know what? When the next 2 teams play against them, they'll probably ban Victor. No. The next team that plays against them still doesn't ban Victor, and they get smashed. And I'm like, how does Samsung keep getting away with it? They can't keep getting away from this. Oh god, I expect worse performances because they won't get as many comfort picks in a best of series.
But what about my boy Core JJ though? What about the NA last hope?
He's fantastic. Honestly, he makes the team really good. I think Ruler like lacks like a brain sometimes, so his positioning
My
is
boy
really.
Ruler is nutty.
He like I swear to God, like his mechanics are fine, but sometimes I just see him die in like the most random positions, or just the way he like does rotations is really weird. I think that Core helps him a lot. So if he's in the game, he can help him transition really well into team fights. And Core is great. Like he's one of the first people to bring back Zyra. And I think that he was ahead of the meta when it came to that. Like he realized how important laning was, and Zyra just became like a super dominant.
Where do you think Core JJ picked up Zyra?
It's from the #1 North American support, Kiwi Kid, of course.
There you go, guys. Just remember, if Core JJ wins, each and every one of us win because he's got a little part of North America right here in his heart. Yeah.
If you love Kiwi Kid, you should support Samsung.
Yeah, basically, Core JJ is an extension of Kiwi Kid. Everything that Core JJ does is basically what Kiwi Kid would do.
Yeah. Kiwi Kid taught him what not to do, so Core JJ can come and win worlds.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you replace Kiwi with Core JJ, you wouldn't even notice the difference.
Yeah, it'd be like the same players, pretty much. That's why I fucking love them, dude. All right, EDG and RNG limped out of group stages. You got a problem with them limping out of group stages, dude?
Yeah, I do. I feel like those two teams were easily the favorites of their groups, and they both like shit the bed for each of their own reasons. Like, I think EG, it's pretty obvious their top laner just like, what happened? He's actually feeding every game, and then he gets his like comfort pick. Oh, he's on Aurelia, boys. We can win. He still shits the bed. It's just like, what is going on?
Dude, come
And
on. You got a problem with that, though?
Do I got a problem with their top laner feeding?
No, you got a problem with them being... Dude, what does it make a difference if they're looked at as some of the favorites, man? Look at H2K, or look at G2. Look what happened to them, man. Is there anything wrong with it? You got a problem with G2 shitting the bed?
I mean,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, if I was a G2 fan, I think...
Wait, you'd be one of those guys telling them to kill themselves? You know, are you that type of guy?
I'm not going to say kill yourself in chat. I'm not going to harass them on Twitter. But, you know, it's something obviously to be upset over if, like, the 2 times they make it to fucking MSI and then Worlds, they shit the bed twice. It sucks to see. I'm not saying I'm going to go say kill yourself in chat. Fuck you, Perks, kill yourself. But it does suck to see.
Ah, fair enough.
Wait, you heard what just happened, right? On top of his performance at Worlds, which by the way, he was minus 22 CS at 10 minutes on average. He was the #1.
Wait, on average?
Across every game, his average is minus 22 CS at 10 minutes.
Wait, really?
Just random stat. Yes, it's already been thrown out. He had emergency family issues. Someone in his immediate family died, so he's not playing the next stage.
Wait, really?
Yes,
Holy
it just got announced an hour ago that he's now substituted out. And Koro1, a player who has not scrimmed with them, has not even played solo queue recently, is coming back to play for them top lane in the quarterfinals.
What the fuck? Real? Holy shit.
Wow, that is like, Jesus, man. I can't even imagine that situation. That sounds fucking awful.
Yeah, no, he's like, it's actually brutal. Like, so like, yeah, he didn't play well. He played terribly, but he's in like a really bad spot right now, which really sucks, you know.
Yeah.
That must fucking.
Yeah, I send my blessings to him though.
Like, it should say something that Koro1 was playing so bad that he got substituted for Mouse in their normal season.
He wasn't
Really?
he's not even a top laner though, right, Mouse?
I think he was, but
okay.
but I'm just saying, like, a lot of people are literally saying, can it even be worse than Mouse? And it's like, well, maybe. I would be.
God. Oh god! So he got replaced by Mouse because he's playing worse, and now that he's got replaced, he's playing 0 solo queue and hasn't scrimmed with the team.
Yes,
It's gonna go well. It's gonna go well for EDG. I bet it's gonna go great.
Yeah, it's gonna go really well. Well, what do you think about RNG then? You think it's gonna go well for them boys?
I thought, first week for RNG, right? I thought they looked like really clean. Like, holy crap! I thought they were gonna be easily the favorites, but I actually don't know what happened week 2.
Dude, they got out of groups. That's what happened week 2. You got a problem with that?
I mean, barely, right? Our topic is like they limped out of group stages.
I think both the Chinese teams have very similar play styles, and one is more extreme than the other. Neither of them put much pressure top lane. I think Uzi, if you're on a team with Uzi, you know what you're getting. It's like a hardcore, you have to pressure bottom. It's like, oh, you want to go top lane? Nah, not today. So like, I don't even think Looper is that bad. You have to go to Uzi's lane. So when you think about it, it's like, it's not, when most teams consider top side control, bot side control. So you go like mid, top, and mid to bot. But with Uzi, I feel like on the team, everything has to eventually revolve around him, because that's just the type of player he is. Which I think is fine, if he gets Caitlyn and they have a laning bot lane. But if you're playing against this team and you just like either first pick Caitlyn or ban Caitlyn and then take like only like lane dominant champions, I think a lot of the other, like, I don't know how their team wins if Uzi falls behind, their top lane falls behind. Like I worry for this team just as like almost as badly as I worry for EDG with their top laner now having like a new substitute. I just think that, like, honestly, China looks a lot worse than I expected. Like, I said that about every team, but I just couldn't believe how badly EDG performed, and like RNG to an extent as well.
Yeah, I found myself saying that about every region. Wow, this region looked a lot worse than I expected. Wow, these teams look a lot worse than I expected. But any closing remarks on Group C and Group D?
I hope to God one Chinese region makes it past. That's it.
Oh, well, I guess we'll see, because quarterfinal predictions are here. So let's start off with the SKT versus RNG. You think Uzi and Mata can 2v5 SKT? Yes?
Hell no.
You don't think the
Hell
Caitlyn
no.
Prodigy?
Hell no. I think SKT is gonna 3-1 RNG. I don't believe in the 2v5. I think SKT is gonna easily take this one.
Yeah, I think SKT is gonna stomp RNG. Like, I don't
Jesus,
see it. Like,
stomp? I think there'll be at least like decent games. You think just one-sided destruction?
I think unless their jungler shits the bed, they're gonna walk over RNG, and it's not gonna be fun.
What do you think, then? My man
Like
Eunice says
3-0. Like, I think it's
3-0?
gonna be like an ugly series. Like 3-1 is like the series I think when like a team is like has potential, I think it's gonna be a 3-0. And
No potential RNG.
Yeah,
Jesus.
you think they just straight they just lucked their way here, dude, or what?
They can
TSM
win.
should be here instead.
They can win. They have a win condition. It's very like pointed. Like their bot lane gets a lead and Uzi 1v9s, but it's like I think against better teams, like I don't mind one-dimensional teams. Like a lot of people really hate. Like we look at SKT, like they can play off anyone. They have really really good carries, like in both Bang and Faker, and they're like a way more well-rounded team. And I have no problem with teams that are just super one-dimensional, have just one strength, but it's super big. Like remember I talked about H2K, they get a lead and they smash lane. That's like a really one-dimensional strategy. But like, what can I say if they can do that 90% of the time, right? And so I think RNG has one dimension as well, and it's a very very like pointed one dimension. I don't think that one dimension will work against SKT.
So you're going 3-0?
Yes.
You're 3-1?
3-1.
That's why we brought Yuna on. I think it'll be a 3-1 team. I don't think it's gonna be a fucking landslide stomp.
Okay.
What do you think then? Rocks Tigers versus EDG.
Huh.
Knowing
I
that.
think first.
Wait, what do you think, Yuna?
I say you go first. I don't know what I think of this.
I think Mako and Defter are really good, like super good. And honestly, it all comes down to the one lucky thing about Koro one is he's coming into filling like shoes that aren't that big. Like they're pretty small actually. So even though he hasn't played much solo queue, he hasn't scrimmed to the team, if he's able to like go even or like down CS as Poppy, he might have just played his job correctly. So I think they have the possibility to win because rather than it being just bot lane focused, they can also go mid lane and work with him. And I think Clear Love, hopefully in best of series, will play better. But like Peanut has not impressed me recently. And yeah, sure, maybe his last 2 games he did well, but overall Peanut just is like the best jungler in the world, or one of the best junglers in the world, against like the best jungler in the world. Neither of these junglers have really hit it off. So I think
You're not that worried about Cora. You're saying that he's got shoes to fill. Dude, this guy pretty much has never worn shoes. He doesn't play fucking game anymore, dude. You're not worried about him going up against Rockstar and just getting fucking destroyed.
No, I am worried about that, especially because like all the Korean teams have godlike top laners and they can play around top. So I'm worried about it, but it's like, I mean, Mouse got solo killed in lane 2, so it's like,
yeah, because it's not
like
that much of a difference.
the shoes aren't that, again, the shoes aren't that big. I don't want to hit a guy when he's down, and like not even at the event, but like I'm hitting a guy when he's down. So I think Rox has more than enough tools to take this. Just because they have a sub, and it's like if you're playing against like Smeb and Peanut, and you haven't played well.
Yeah, you haven't played League.
You're not gonna have a fun time. I think they definitely have a lot more options. Like it's not a one-dimensional team when you play against Rocks. They just need to play well for them to get out of groups or get out of this final. I think it's gonna be something like a 3-1 for Rocks.
I think this is gonna be a 3. If what you said about Cora 1 that he hasn't fucking played League at all and he's just like fresh out the fucking. Hey, just fill this, man. Just do whatever. It's all good, baby.
I mean, he's probably gonna play at least 3 games of solo queue before
that's
series.
Well,
That's good.
Sorry, like 2 days of solo queue and like some scrims. It's like something.
yeah, that's gotta
I
count
don't
for
know.
something. I think it'll be a blowout. What do you think,
I mean, if I had to choose one of these teams to go through, I think Rock's gonna throw EDG. Like you said, dude, Smeb versus Carl 1. Carl 1 doesn't even remember how to use a fucking mouse. It's like this guy's gonna get fucking rolled. And if Peanut plays like he did at the last 2 games, then they're really gonna get fucking rolled. I don't know. Rocks just looks like the clear favorites to me.
Yeah, I'm feeling the dude. Yuna and me, we're 2 for 2 now on the predict. Yuna, you're a fucking all right guy, man. Let's go. Let's make it 3 for 3 then. Samsung versus Cloud9, baby. This is the anticipated game for North America. I'm gonna go out and say it. I think Cloud9's gonna win it. No, I don't. What do you guys think, though? I think Cloud9's got an uphill battle.
I think my heart easily says C9. You know, NA Pride, fucking C9. I love Sneaky. I love Mios. Those are my fucking boys. But holy shit, Samsung look pretty good out of groups, and I don't think this one is gonna be. NA is gonna be sad after this fucking round.
Yeah, you're gonna be real sad.
Man. Okay. I agree with you guys. My heart does say C9. A lot of people get mad when I root for the team that my heart tells me to do, but you know what they say, like you gotta do what the heart tells you to do. In this situation, I'm gonna say C9, and I'm gonna give how they're gonna win as well.
Wait, you think
really?
you think C9's gonna win this one?
I'm gonna even not only do I think they're gonna win, I'm gonna tell you how they're gonna win. I'm gonna break it down for you.
Break it down for me.
Oh,
Well, first, Reaper is going to go through all the days of the group stage of week 1, figure out how to do draft, like just study it intensely at the very top of his notebook, write one thing, ban Victor. So they are already better in the draft than like every team in the group stage against Samsung Galaxy. I think Jensen is a better mid laner than Crown when he's not on Victor. I think, and if the battle is going to be Victor, each player plays Rise super well. I think Jensen's actually an incredibly good mid laner, especially laney wise. He's a monster, and so if he's not on Victor, I think I'll take Jensen over Crown any day of the week. I mean, but it's not just about that, right? I think their bot lane has a really good read on the meta. I think their drafts are really good too. So how else are they going to win? Well, C9 has a really bad problem of not being able to coordinate their top lane initiation with their bot side of the map. Hopefully, Impact won't be playing awfully that day, and I think Impact's champ pool is actually pretty good in this current meta. Like he still plays a godlike Gnar, and I think he's good on all the other meta champs. You know, Jace, Poppy. I'm down to see him play. He'll do really well. And I just need, and Medios will be playing like a front line champ. I don't even mind if he's on Lee Sin. He just has to be able to find the looks. I am down. And bot lane, I think Smoothie's been playing amazing. And if they don't ban away his Alistar and they just want to try to smash lane, then he's going to make them regret it because his Alistar has been looking like one of the best in the tournament. Just ignore the team mistakes they play when they play around them. I like how he frontlines a lot.
Yeah,
And
I'll
so
take a
that's
Zyra over an Alistar any day, man. I don't know about the bot lane winning.
But I'm telling you, Smoothie's actually been playing like a monster this tournament. Like if you've been watching his Alistar, it's like top 3 Alistars at the event, which is pretty impressive seeing as how many Alistars actually got played. I think I'll go C9 will take it and I'll say 3-2.
Damn.
Damn, so you think it's going to be a close battle? I was thinking like 3-0 for Samsung, but dude, you're making me question myself. You know what's you can go.
You know, with the way you said C9's gonna win, it does give me doubts too. But I don't know, man. Fuck. I really want to say. Oh, actually, when you talked about it, I really actually wanted to say C9 3-2 as well. But I think I'm gonna say it'll go to 5 games, but it'll be SSG 3-2.
Oh, okay.
Damn, you think it's gonna go to 5 games? Whew. Well, maybe I got a bad read on it. I'm gonna go with 3-0. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna go with it anyways, dude. I'm not impressed with C9. I want them to have to prove it to me, man. It's like Albus Nox, man. I mean, I saw how they played. It's like, I mean, yeah, they made it out of groups. All right, fucking impress me, dude. Show me that I fucking know nothing about League C9. Just fucking destroy Samsung for me. Let's go on then. H2K versus Albus Nox. This one, I have no fucking idea how this game's gonna go. So you guys can talk about this shit.
H2K 3-1. I think some of their players are playing out of their minds. Even though I have a lot of respect for Albus, including I think a lot of people, everyone talks about the support. Their junglers actually were the reason why they're winning a lot of their games.
I think their mid laner is pretty fucking good too. Like I like their mid laner.
Kira, I think he's been playing okay. He plays better on stage than he does in solo queue. I think, which is really weird. I don't know. Like I feel like they just play better together on stage.
Yeah.
but I think PvP Steos, their jungler, is actually a monster, and he's way better than people are giving him credit for. With that in mind, he has to play against one of the best Western junglers, Jankos. I think Jankos is playing out of, like Ryu, Jankos are both playing out of their minds, and I think they're with their current form. I don't see Kira beating Ryu, and I don't see Jankos losing to Steos, and I don't think Licrit is good enough to be able to carry against H2K. Like he's not going to be able to roam. Like
you don't think my boy Air Miracle and Licrit are going to just smash God Given?
I think if there's one thing that H2K is good at, it's laning, and if they can make it so that the other team can't leave lane, then Forgiven will win 100% of the time. And so I think that they'll be able to control Licrit's roaming, pathing with his jungler, and because he actually is one of the only supports that just roams top lane, and that must tilt the top laner so hard when he's trying to ward the tri-bush. Either the jungler, I've seen the jungler or the top laner run the tri-bush, and it's like no one should be there, but it's like the jungle and like the support and the top laner are all camping the tri-bush, and he dies. And that would be so annoying to play against. But I think that after looking at it, the style is not too crazy. I'm down to go H2K win 3-1. I give them the 1 because I think they might take a random win.
All right, fair enough. What do you think, Yuna?
I think exactly the same thing. I think H2K 3-1. I feel like the whole thing of ANX is like, you're right there, like support jungle synergy, but they're laning against Forgiven and Vander, and I honestly think ANX, their AD carry is the worst looking AD carry at the tournament.
You didn't like a Miracle, dude? You didn't think he was popping the fuck off?
No, I don't think he's that good. And he's against the best fucking AD carry in EU, Forgiven. It's going to be like very fucking rough for them. And if they do shut down our fucking Lord and Savior Liquid, then I think they're just not gonna stand a chance.
So you're going with 3-1-2?
Yeah, 3-1 HTK.
Do you guys know? I mean, I shit on Albus Knox last time on Beyond the Rift. I was like, these guys are just fucking awful. They're gonna get destroyed. And you know what? They proved me wrong, man. I don't know if it was like that impressive, but they managed to prove me wrong there. So you know what? I'll put a little faith in it. I'll say Albus Knox win. I'm gonna go with 3-2, dude. I want to say Lecrit, dude.
Ooh.
Lecrit, man, you're an alright guy. Show me how fucking alright you are, though. I want you to use those words that I've given you and fucking do what I couldn't do, man. Win a world title, man. Don't let me down, Lecrit. I'll give it to him 3-2. I think it'll be a bloody battle. I hope it will be, at least. It probably won't, but whatever. And that will conclude our quarterfinal predictions. But we are not over yet, because you know what time it is, fellas?
It's Q&A time with Discord, right?
You know, how'd you know, dude? It's Q&A time with Discord. Ladies and gentlemen, go to our Discord channel right now. We're going to be having a live questions and answer session Beyond the Rift Discord server. You're going to want to look down below, click the link, download Discord, go to where the link takes you to. You're going to head on over to the Q&A session, and we're going to be answering some questions. So ladies and gentlemen, let the questions come pouring in right now. Let's start it off a little bit, though, with the my man Squid. He asks, what do you think is going to be the best way for pro teams to use replays that are going to be released the next competitive season?
It's the same way they use replays now. It's just
I don't think it makes a difference.
They have to use they don't have to use like a buggy ass third party program that may or may not crash your PC or your client like every other game. It won't corrupt itself after like every patch, and so it's just a lot less of a headache for these teams. Like even when I was on CLG, like rather than using like any of the software, I literally just recorded a lot of my games on OBS, and I have still on one of the PCs like 4 months of CLG scrimming with voice comms, because that was just like the easiest way to do replays immediately, and hopefully this way will also be pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know if these replays will make that much of a difference, because I mean at the end of the day you want the replays with voice comms, and I don't think that, I mean there's no way that they have them on this, so I think that the way that they're doing it right now will probably just remain, right? Like, I don't know how the replays work, but can you finish the game and the replay? Do you have to finish the game for the replays to go through?
I don't
No
think
idea.
so, because if they made it like that, then replays would actually be entirely useless for competitive players, and that's competitive players like the players who will be using replays the most.
Yeah, but I can't imagine they'd allow it so you can just like quit out, because you just have some fucking idiot that just like programmed a bot to just join custom games and leave immediately and just fucking waste all that shit, dude. I don't know. I don't think the replays are actually going to make any difference, because competitive players have already figured out how to do replay analysis. So, I mean, Riot adding something's nice, but I don't think it matters. It's too little, too late, Riot. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I think it's nice, though, that they added it finally, but for competitive players, it doesn't matter too much. Nooses asks, do ex-pro players actually get tryout invites for teams, or people that try to make teams happen? And how about people from the top of the solo queue ladder? So we'll answer the first one, and then will answer the one about the top of the solo queue ladder. Scarra, you get tryouts?
What I asked to play with you on CLG Black because I wanted to play with you when our AD carry, God bless his heart, Stixay got banned for being toxic. Super toxic.
I remember I got a tryout for what was the name of that team? Fucking
CLG Black.
No, not CLG Black, for RNG. Fuck, what was it? Renegades. There we go, dude. They emailed me to try. You know what I told them? I told them, don't fucking email me on this address. So get the fuck out of here, dude. That should give you an idea for fucking ex-pros getting tried. I mean,
sometimes they do, but I think for the ones who are just like, I'm not interested unless like the offer is like insane. for the most part, like I don't get like I doubt Cutie gets many offers anymore. Like
Hell no.
'cause-
They know don't waste their time
yeah,
with my
the,
ass.
the offer would have to be insane for Cutie to quit. Like TSM would have to come up to him and is like, look, we got Faker, we got Smeb, we got P. I won't even say Peanut because he played really bad. We got Killa played okay. We got Jankos, and we also got Doublelift. He'll be your water boy, and we got the best support in the world, Kiwi Kid. Please play for us. We'll pay you $5 million a year. And then, like, that's like the only situation where Kitty would say yes.
Yeah, I'd consider it. That sounds like a considerable thing. But for top of the ladder, you get many invites for being at the top of the ladder.
Wait, what'd you say? You cut out.
So he asked, do players get a lot of team invites for being at the top of the solo queue ladder? Do you receive a lot or no?
Personally, no, but then again, I'm under the COG brand, so I can't really receive team offers. And yeah, I think some players do get like the occasional offer, but I don't think there's like that much of like whatchamacallit, a feast for much players. And it only happens like I feel like the most times it happens when Challenger Series is up, then that's when some teams want to play. But other than that, it's like not that not too many invites.
Yeah.
I feel like it actually is weird because it feels like would you rather have like a high elo mid laner or Scarra on your team? Maybe that. You probably want Scarra better.
Yeah, I feel like having competitive experience helps out a lot more than being like at the top of the ladder. At least for me personally, but I mean, fuck if I know if that really matters at all. Okay. Ooh, Hired Gun, dude. He asked one of the best questions I've ever seen. He says, Yuna,
Oh no.
do you think you're a better ADC than Cutie Pie?
Oh.
Just give it to me straight, dude. You know you're a better ADC.
I know,
than me.
baby.
All right, dude. He says he knows he's a better ADC than me. Just watch either mine or his stream, dude, and just pray that me and him get matched up, man, and that'll give you the answer. My man, let me see. Ariat, my woman, asked, do you think that trinkets should be altered or changed for season 7? I don't mind trinkets. I think maybe they give too much vision, but I don't think that they need to be changed.
I think trinkets are kind of in a good spot. I understand that at Riot wants the vision to be standardized. I'm okay with the current vision at the moment. I don't think there's that much of a problem. The cooldowns are all fairly balanced too. I'm alright with it. It's not a big deal.
You got any
like
problem
it.
with it? You like it? Anything
Yeah, I like
else?
having trinkets and stuff. It just like makes it laning a lot nicer too when you're able to like get your wards out.
Yeah, actually play aggressive because you don't have to fear for your fucking life. Do you remember how it was like before trinkets, man? Like early game, your support bot. Yeah, your support bot 2 wars. Once that shit was gone, it was just like, well, guess we're sitting under the tower, guys. We're fucking done now.
Well, I remember when literally the jungle meta was Maokai with Oracle's Rush, and you literally Nautilus, and you literally wouldn't be able to move up.
Oh yeah, Nautilus with the Oracles. Holy shit! You started Oracle somehow, and our ward is gone.
Yeah, that shit was fucking stupid. I'm pretty happy with the trinket. Maybe they give too much vision, but it's better than no fucking vision because it actually lets people do stuff. So my man Fed Heist, he asked Yuna, how good do you actually think Forgiven is, and what do Afro and Stixay think about him?
I think Forgiven is definitely the best AD carry in EU. He knows it too. I mean, his laning is fucking fantastic, and it seems weird, but like his CSing, I don't see that guy miss a lot of CS. Like it's actually like super important as AD carry. And as of Stixay and Afro, I think they also put Forgiven like pretty high up there when they think of good AD carries. I mean,
so I asked you there's a previous question. Do you think you're better than me? Do you think you're better than Forgiven?
Hell no.
Wait, you say?
I mean, hell yeah. Because you're better
there.
than Forgiven, so I'm automatically better than him, right?
Yeah, transitive properties. That's my boy right there. He knows what's up now. My man, let me see. Whew, there's a whole lot of Solarin. As how bad do you guys feel after Double Lift's tweet from Worlds? I felt pretty bad, man. That shit was fucking rough.
I felt bad, but it's just like bad stuff happens. Like I'm like more okay to remember.
Here we go. Scar doesn't give a fuck, man. Just give it to him. He's gonna tell him, dude, deal with it, you fucking loser.
No, I just thought it just sucked. Like when I read it, I was like, that sucks, and then I kind of moved on real quick.
This question would be great for Dom.
Yeah, dude, I would.
Ate with Dom.
Oh, God.
Wait, what did Dom say? Dude, give it to me. Come on, man. What did he say?
Can we say this on stream?
Just say it. Just say it, dude. Say it, Scar. Come on.
I think you have to ask Dom for his opinion about this.
I'm sure Dom said he felt empathy for Double Lift, and he hopes he has it better next season.
Yeah, that's actually, holy shit, right on the dot.
Dude, I know. Dude, I was on a team with Dom for like 2 years, man. I know what he said. I know how Dom gets down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Dom's the most toxic person I've ever met, but he's
fucking toxic.
something like that.
You guys are fucking flavors, man. Veroni Donut asked, Aphromu recently said that less teams will boot camp in Korea next year. Are Korean boot camps not that valuable before, and why not? I think people will still boot camp. I feel like it's still, if you want to scrim against other teams, like if you stay in North America, who are you gonna scrim against? Like everyone's gonna be on vacation that didn't make it to World, so it'd just be you like. There's 2 other teams to scrim. The other 2 teams going to World, so I don't see what you would do other than boot camp. But what do you guys think?
I think definitely going to Korea is a little bit overrated. I remember hearing, I think COG and C9 weren't going to go to Korea, but then, or at least I remember COG saying that, but then TSM and C9 went, and then there's just like no one for us to scrim if we stayed in NA, so we ended up going to Korea as well. And I don't think Korea's like, it's not going to change a team to like a bottom tier team to fucking God mode, but it does help.
One of the things that I feel like is not good about boot camping is it kind of shows your hand a little bit for the other regions. Like, oh, you scrim like this, and then like people talk, people hear. It's like, oh, and they couldn't do that for Albus because no one scrimmed Albus, so like they couldn't know. Oh, he's got a sick pocket brand. Oh, he roams top every time, but like when you're playing against some teams, like sometimes teams talk, And I know that Monte was like, "There's no way teams talk. If you have proof of this, go to reporters." And I'm just like, dude, come on, I know this happened. Like,
yeah, what the fuck?
Worlds,
of course, people are gonna talk.
that's Worlds. This happened. Like, NA teams used to do that. It used to be like a lot of the Chinese teams didn't like each other, so they didn't talk with each other at all. But I know that it's in a lot of situations, like for instance, IMA and EDG are like sister teams, but not really sister teams. Allegedly not sister teams, but actually sister teams. And then like EDG remote coaches AHQ. Aaron remote coaches AHQ, so like they have to talk. Like it's like not possible for them to just like deny information. And so I don't know. Sometimes you can have sometimes if you have something really sick, like for MSI, the range like Soraka became super meta, and Korean teams are like, what is this champion? Like she heals and she's like kind of good. It's like if they weren't able to catch on fast enough, that's like a really distinct advantage that another region or another team has.
I concur with that statement. Machina asked, what do you think of the stealth changes coming in and the assassin changes as well? I'm not sure how I feel about it. I feel like they're either going to nerf the shit out of the champ. Because if pink wards don't reveal stealth, is there any way to reveal a stealth champion? Or other than like obviously them fucking de-stealthing? Do you guys know?
I don't know anything about the change. That's the only change I read was the pink ward thing.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
I didn't even read it. Like, there's also new
Shit, I
jungle
didn't read
changes
it either.
where there's like plants or something now, and like I've been focused on Worlds. Like I leave for Worlds tomorrow morning at like 5 a.m. So I've tried to keep all other like content or information like a little bit away from me unless it's directly relevant.
Well, Machina, the answer to your question, yes. Um, my man, Gravity asks, "What's your opinion on Rush being benched on C9?"
What?
It's
Are
kind of
we
a
at
little
are we
late.
at spring split? Like,
Well, this guy
like-
wants to know. Gravity asked us a question, and we have to answer it. What do you feel like? You think C9s could win Worlds if they had Rush?
maybe if Lee was the best champion in the game, yeah, I definitely think
Hey,
so.
Lee's
but
pretty
he's
good
not.
right now. Come on,
He
man.
is pretty good right now.
He's not bad. I think it's whatever. They have a better coaching staff, and that's the biggest difference. You know, so I think maybe Reaper and Rush would do really well too. But I don't think this is the end of Rush's story. I imagine that Rush will come back and competitive in some way, shape, or form. Currently, I know he's memeing it up as a streamer, but I feel like that guy has a little bit of fire left in him. He will come back.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think like Mia's like that huge of an upgrade to Rush. But
Just let him have. Just say it. Say it.
hey,
you know.
fuck Meteos, you fucking. No, I just don't think he's like that huge of an upgrade. So I think Rush will come back too. It's fun watching Rush too. I feel like watching Rush Spring Split was like one of the funnest things.
Yeah, Rush was pretty fucking. That guy was alright. My man Malagar. This is gonna be the final question. Malagar, he puts his heart into this question. When you guys watch Worlds, do you ever feel the nostalgia? You ever feel the nostalgia, longing to be back on the stage? I used to play music, so I always think about the feelings I got. Is that something you think about a lot? Not so much to win, but the feeling of being back on the stage.
Why'd you read it like that? You read it
What
you read like.
he put his heart and soul. He said he used to play music. This is what he felt about music, man.
All right, we'll answer his question. Kitty, do you remember?
Dude, watching Worlds, yeah, man. I can tell you, man, watching Worlds and seeing like, dude, no offense to this one. Group A was a fucking clown fiesta. Like, half those teams played like shit. Like, half of those games were terrible. Watching that shit was like, God, man, I wish I was fucking there playing this shit right now. Because watching it's just, ooh.
I actually made me feel a lot better about myself because I was like, you know what? I'm not playing too hot recently, but I saw some Worlds games and I was like, man, they're not playing too hot either. Maybe I'm playing better than that.
I could do this.
Yeah, so I don't know. Worlds is fun to watch. Just some of the teams, none that I will name in particular, maybe might have been a little bit frustrating to watch. But
I may.
whoa, I didn't say anything. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, you did a lot. Actually.
that there were some teams that maybe made watching Worlds not too enjoyable, but I can understand that in a best of one setting, that teams aren't going to be looking like super fresh, super clean.
Well, you ever have the nostalgia then of being back on stage? You still want it, Scar?
Oh yeah, dude. I can think of all the tears we shed, the hours we spent together, the times where you talked to Crumbs, and more like yelled at Crumbs, actually. More like you guys yelled at each other. Thousands of hours of that, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of hours of that. A lot more than I'd like to admit.
And then I think that it would be nice to come back, yeah. But whether that's more realistic right now, I don't know. But I do sometimes remember of the good old days, I guess is what they want to say.
Yeah, I would like to come back one day, man. I think that I could be at least a top 5 AD right now. I think a lot of the ADs in NALCS are fucking garbage. Like I'm just gonna be straight up with that, dude. I think a lot of them are fucking bad. Like I think I could at least be top 5 in my current form. And who knows, man? Maybe I might be better than that, but I think about it. Will it ever happen? Probably not, but it's a nice thing to daydream about, what do you think, though?
Yeah, I really miss being a pro.
Okay. There you go, man. There you go, my friend. There's the answer to your question. And that, my friend, will conclude the Discord Q&A session. And with that, Beyond the Rift will also be concluded. Yuna, it was a pleasure having you today.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Yuna, if people want to find more of you, where would they go if they were inclined to see more of the based Yuna? What platforms do you currently possess that they could consume more of your media at?
You can find me streaming every day on this lovely website, twitch.tv, based_Una, and everything else, Twitter, Instagram, all based_Una. It'd be nice to see some of you guys and chat around.
Hey, go and give Yuna some love, man, because this guy's a fucking alright man. This guy predicts what I predict, so he's fucking alright in my book. And Scarra, everyone knows you, everyone loves you, but in case some of them don't, where can they find you?
You can find me streaming 5 of 6 days, or 5 of 7 days on this website under Scarra usually. But I'm out at Worlds, so if you're at any of the World stops, you can find me there. I'll probably do something where I'll try to meet fans like an hour or two before the place opens up, before I get locked into my press room dungeon to do interviews. Aside from that, you can find me on Twitter at Scarra, because I finally got the name after years and years of waiting. And you can find everything else I'm related to on Twitter, because I just use that as my main source of social media.
Perfect. And if you guys would like to find more of me, luckily for you, you're already at the place. So go ahead, give me a follow, give me a little heart. You can see whenever I come online, and follow me Twitter, all that good stuff. You know where to find me. But that will conclude today's Beyond the Rift. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And we hope you join us tomorrow. God, I say that every fucking time. I hope that you guys join us next week. Same time, Scarra?
Yeah, same time.
Same time, guys. We're pushing it a little earlier because, Scarra's got his real life situations to take care of, but you don't have to worry about that. Just know same time next week. But for that, we're going to be done with Beyond the Rift. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Ooh, that's a nice snipe right there.